I seen you had came in, nigga.
Yeah, man. I was trying to come in there.
You could have stayed on, nigga. I was just getting shit. I was just getting shit set up.
Damn pussy, man.
Nigga, your ass like you eating now. Hey, too much.
Yeah.
You at the house, nigga? You didn't tell me you back at the house.
Alright.
Where the hell you at?
I'm working.
The guy said, where the hell you at, man?
I'm working, man. I'm out of the state, man.
All right, well, nigga, I'm finna start in 8 minutes. I'm just twisting one up. Gonna pull me some DiSerrano. I mean, the stream already live. You can hop on the back office, and then we just gonna dive right into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm an East person. I'm tuning into that whole.
All right. All right, you see what we talking about?
Huh?
See?
Yeah, I see.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it.
All right, bet. What it is, what it do. Welcome, welcome back to another episode of Lifegame Podcast. Um, here on YouTube. Soon coming to all the other platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you can find a Google, wherever you can find a podcast. And you already see the title tonight. If you're on YouTube, you see it. If you other platforms, you see it. It is, sorry about that. We're talking about everything that's going on crazy right now. Hang on, let me get my camera situated. There we go. Everything that's going on right now, in regards to everything that's going on crazy in social media. I mean, we got everything is going on with Country Wayne. First of all, John Gruden. We're gonna talk about that first. We're gonna get into the John Gruden thing. We're gonna talk about Country Wayne and him having. I ain't ever talked about the guy, but he put it out there. Him having 10 kids and taking with 5 different women and taking care of paying all their bills and doing all that thing and doing all that, which is commendable. And then them have still having the option to deal with whoever they want to deal with. And I think that's I'll get into that later. And then we're gonna talking about Dave Chappelle. We're gonna touch on Dave Chappelle. If you ain't seen the new Netflix special he's put out, I don't know where you've been. You've been living under a rock or something. But those are the things we're gonna get into tonight. Without further ado, before we do that, let me take a sip of this yak, and we'll get into Lifegame. And supposed to have a couple guys come in, and I think Mac is coming tonight, and JB should be here. But other than that, I'm rocking with you guys, and we're gonna rock it out. So I'm gonna take a sip, take a swig. I'm what I'm saying, light something up, and we're gonna get into it and chop it up. Let's talk about it. That's good, yeah. So first things first, man. Been a long day. I just got back from football practice and everything. So bear with me. I'm always discombobulated on these things because I know what we're gonna talk about and how, and kind of points I want to hit on, but a lot of times you kind of as you're talking about some of these things with other people, uh you kind of get, a little distracted or a little throw it off your point or throw it off the rock a little bit. Just trying to take in other sides and other viewpoints and stuff like that. So I'm gonna make more notes as we debate, especially when I have heated debates with Mac or whomever else is on the channel. Um so that's how we rock. All right, man. First things first. Let's get into it. Let me get situated. First thing first. First things first is John Gruden, man. What the fuck is wrong with this nigga? Like, that's the first thing I want to say. What is wrong with him? Second of all, well, we know what's wrong with him. He's a fucking racist. That was wrong with him. The second thing is racists know. I mean, it's a classic tale. I mean, he's happy about. I mean, he's comfortable with his surroundings. The emails and forth back and forth he had with the then executive at the Redskins, and it wasn't just him and some people on the Redskins, or the guy from the GM from the Redskins at the time back in 2011. It was more emails, and there were more people, like a group. This is pre-group apps, group text apps and stuff like that. So you got to understand that emails were the big thing back then, especially for a guy that like John Gruden, kind of old school, old mentality and all that. So he definitely doesn't hasn't at that point wouldn't say he adapted to uh, everything that's new that's going on. And the thing that's troubling to me was I wasn't surprised necessarily. The first thing that caught in my mind was like, yeah, that's why he's never had a black quarterback that you can think of. Like one, um, definitely, and have never drafted one. Doesn't prefer black quarterbacks that can run or move around. So those are just different things. And then on top of that, he just had that reputation. That arrogance, that real white arrogance, that white supremacist arrogance. Uh, for those black people who have encountered racist white people, and not racist white people that uh you know uh Confederate motherfuckers, because they'll try to justify it a different way or explain it off as some heritage or some shit like that. I mean, like, you know, real white supremacist arrogance. Like, um, that's what he has. That's what he has because he went after my only black people. Now, this part I find funny, and I'll get into sec. This part I find funny. He went after gays. I'm sorry, he went after black people first. Well, released. And so as you release that information about the late Demore Smith, and then you about Demore Smith, about him having, lips like Michelin Man or some shit like that. Then he said he called Roger Goodell a pussy. And then but that didn't get him fired. That didn't spark it up enough outrage. As soon as he said something homophobic, it was in 24 hours. He was out of there. I mean, as soon as that, like, and so I just find that funny. Um, just found that funny. Go again. I just found that funny that he would it would take that to get him out of there. If he and then he said some bullshit explanation about he called everybody who lies that's bullshit. Get the fuck out of here with that. And here's the thing. I actually from afar, I don't know him personally or anything like that. Just as being a football fan my whole life and knowing the game of football the way I do and loving it because I played it, a majority of my life. Um, it was sad and I really liked him from afar. Um, but as I heard one of the first people I heard talk about him was Keyshawn Johnson. And he spoke about it and he basically was like, look, dude was not a good person. Which I understand. Keyshawn played for him for 2 years. Second year, he didn't really uh, play. I guess they had disagreements or whatever. So he was inactive for like 6 weeks and then they traded him. So if I can remember that correctly. So yeah, I don't think dude actually, man, he knew exactly what he was doing. He was comfortable. He was in his safe space. Also, he thought. My questions are, A, why didn't he get fired? Why did they have to take him to say homophobic things for him to get fired? One, like that's the threshold now. not him being just straight out racist. Um, then the next part was why uh, who else is on this email chat or email group? Because from my understanding, John Gruden wasn't using his company email. He was at ESPN at the time. He wasn't using his company email. He was using his personal, but because the general manager from the Washington Redskins was using his company email, his Washington Redskins, his email, his organizational email. Those emails were subject to the investigation that the Washington Redskins are under, as far as the culture that the toxic culture that they had there, and that's how this came to light. And so it makes you beg to ask, or makes you wonder who else is on this email thread, who else is how far could this go? And so those are the questions I have going forward with this particular situation, and we're gonna monitor and squeeze out some nuggets because for me, man, I always assume people are like this until they show me otherwise. Like I don't, and that's because I go off the history of America and the history history of America and the history of my people have been treated in America. And so I like I said, I assume that everyone is either a racist or biased or are going to be quiet about it because they benefit from those things. So at any rate, they're not a quote unquote ally toward me or anything that I represent because of those things. So I wouldn't look at it, man, until that person or organization shows me otherwise. I'm gonna assume that that's what they are because we're in America and that's how it was built. You know what I'm saying? So I think the more we as black people take that approach, um, we'll deal with certain situations how they're supposed to be dealt with, and we'll avoid a lot of ones too. Um, so that's just my 2 cents on that. Um, Not gonna spend too much time on it because I believe we'll get the panel on this probably on Thursday. Get everybody in and definitely gonna chop up the Gruden thing because that's gonna be in the news for a little while because I think that's gonna have some more far-reaching arms than what we think. I think it's more ride. I think it's gonna hit other people besides John Gruden. Um, Next thing, let me take a swig. Yeah. Next, I'm gonna talk about Kountry Wayne. It's been on the news, or they did an interview with the Breakfast Club, and it was said he said something about. I didn't see the whole interview, but I did see a couple clips of it. And I read article about it, and there's nothing I didn't know, but I never spoke on or anything like that because he never really kind of like spoke on it himself. You know what I mean? Or put it out there for public consumption until he did the Breakfast Club interview. And so he put it out there for public consumption. And basically he was trying to basically like be Big Willie and say, yeah, I still take care of my there ain't nothing wrong with that. I pay all the bills for my 5 baby moms and they still can sleep with whoever they sleep with and deal with whoever they deal with. And then at the end, he was like, "Yeah, they'll never have somebody like me, or they'll never," And I'm like, "Yeah, that's commendable. You should be taking care of your kids financially, at least. and that's the very least a man can do. Um, my thing is, bro, why the fuck you got 5 different baby mamas? Nobody asking that question. Everybody's saying like, "Yo, yeah, he can take care of him," and because it's wrapped up in this Jesus popping and he's wrapped up in this cute, nice package. He's still he just like a Future or a fucking 21 or with Lil Durk and all these niggas with all these fucking babies. He the same shit. It's the same thing, and just because he's clean and yeah, he brings the Lord and church into his comedy a little bit. I mean, I see what I see. You know what I'm saying? Like I commend him for taking care of it, but bro, like why the fuck you got 5 different baby mamas? Like you ain't wife now one of them. I get it. You don't want to. Cool, cause you still doing the same shit you been doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you still fuck with most of them, if not all your baby mamas. So for any nigga that dealing with that chick, just know that, bro. Just know it. Just understand that. Especially if you ain't paying no bills, you ain't actually being the man of the house. You letting another nigga do that? She smashing them, bro. Get out of here with that. So, um, that's that, man. That's just my 2 cents on that. I'll bring the panel in to further expand on that later. But yeah, that's where we at with that. I'm not even gonna really touch on that too much. That's exactly what's going on. As far as the other side, everybody, I read some comments on the post. Um, as far as under the Breakfast Club video, and it's like, oh, he should be taking it as he should, and it's like, bro, what the fuck is the account? Like, you better be taking care of these kids because they take your ass child support. You really fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, he's really getting it easy right now, which is cool. But when you start breaking it down, like it really can start adding up for him. So keep doing that, brother. You may make better decisions going forward, man. Stop skating and everything you fuck, bro. God damn. Um, but yeah, that's my 2 cents, bro. It's no different than what they call out here on these streets a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's what he is to me. Um, you know what I'm saying? I know, cause I used to be that way. So I understand that. I understand that the actions. I see the movement. I see the process. I see the whole shit. So uh, it is what it is, bro. Next thing, the last thing is everyone is trying to cancel Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, really? Like Chappelle. And it's like he's a homo. I mean, I don't know. What was it? He hates trans people and he hates gays, and I'm like, how can you get that if you're listening? You know what I'm saying? So that's first thing is like the people who are saying this shit is like you're coming in bad faith because if you actually listen to the art and the comedy, that is the last thing he's saying. That's the last thing he says. But I just find it funny that when he speaks on these things, he never has he never really gives that opinion directly. He kind of draws lines and parallels, not lines, but he draws parallels so that people on both sides can understand, and he gives these perfect analogies um, about people. So, I mean, I'm about the situation. So, and I'm like, how can you get that? Like it was everybody seen the baby joke when he says, the baby basically shot and killed somebody at Walmart about 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. And that didn't kill his career. Actually, it made him more popular. You know. But as soon as he offended a gay person or the gay community, trans community, or whatever it is, I guess it was gay. It was gay people because he said something about AIDS and it was being like basically insinuating down low behavior, and that basically got him canceled. Not killing and shooting an actual human being, and removing them, and they're no longer breathing. That didn't get him canceled, but actually just hurting a gay person feelings. Yeah, that makes him lose millions of dollars. Like, and people are mad at that because it sheds light on their hypocrisy. Um, People are mad at that because it's the truth. I was listening to Dan Lebertard show, uh, and they had Bomani Jones on today. And one thing Bomani kept saying, he was like, "Yeah, so oh, Morris Smith and those comments, they didn't get him fired. They didn't get him fired. As soon as he made those homophobic comments, that I knew he was going. I knew he was going. I'm like, bro, but you're the same dude up here grandstanding with Lebertard that says, he's inciting violence, and they spells inciting violence and doing all this. So I'm like, dude, like y'all being part of the agenda too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not hard to see at this point who's being paid to say what, um, who's being truthful about these things, or open and honest, or who, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, or who just being paid to be talking heads and puppets. So I advise people to just keep your head on the swivel when it comes to these news and the people you and the content you consume. Take everything with a grain of salt, and if it don't apply, let it fly. Like if it don't apply to your life and things you can improve on, or things you're trying to bring into your life and add value, then fuck it, man. Because we've been wasting too much time and energy in this country as it is. So as soon as we buckle down and focus on what we need to do, as a people, uh, we're gonna be all right. Um, and so that and in 2021, for us to still be, he was inciting, he was saying, basically saying like, damn, like I need that aid. Like, why is that movement making so much progress, but equal rights for black people and people of color, minorities haven't? That is really the LGBT and all those rights that's being pushed to the forefront. And basically what he was saying is because those elements and those quote unquote groups still operate with a certain whiteness, a certain uh uh white privilege within the construct of America, even within their own group and community. The alphabet community is what I call them, but the whole LGBT plus community, it's just um it's hypocritical to a degree. You know what I'm saying? He's like, damn, like you want to be a minority until you're not, right? And so he made anybody who hasn't watched the Netflix special, The Closer, is, I mean, it's awesome. Perfect piece of artwork. That's why Dave Chappelle is the GOAT, in my opinion. Greatest comedian, greatest orator, greatest of all time. So um we got that going. But yeah, man, I just find that shit funny, bro. Like, for real. Like these is tripping. Like, how can you argue with that? Him speaking on that gender is a fact. Um, him speaking on the hypocrisy of the movement. Even when he called out the feminist movement, like just the hypocrisy behind it. Like you're actually, you say people are punching down on you, but hey, stop punching down on us. It's basically what you're doing. Had an example of a trans guy. Or I'm sorry, he spoke about his friend, the late comedian Daphne, who was a trans woman, and it was eye opening to see that story because not just to hear that story because I didn't know that A, and then B, it was eye opening um, for him for people to call him, saying that he hates trans or I forgot what term they got. They got an acronym for people who hate trans. Now. I don't know what it is, but basically for people to call him those things, and then for him to have a friend that defended him, Daphne, uh, she defended him, and then killed herself because her community, who she was defending Dave Chappelle from, came at her and was really, really mean and put the pressure on her to wear it. And then so it's like, damn, aren't you doing the same thing that you're saying that you're trying to prevent? Oh yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me find. I want to see. Let's see. Okay. Trying to pull up the picture of the trans woman Daphne he was referring to, because her family they backed him as well because they understand that he's not anti-trans or anti-gay or anything. He's pro people, and so when you start saying pro people and pro humanity and pro these things, it focuses on the things that makes us the same and not the things that makes us different. And so that's the brilliance in Dave Chappelle because he's able to articulate these things and bring these things to light in a way where everybody can relate and everybody can understand whether you like it or not. You may not like it, but you understand exactly the point he was articulating. And whether you want to pay attention to it or not, to make, they got all these people making their own agendas, but that's basically what it comes down to. So it's basically I just pulled up some pictures here. So I guess this is what the uh the trans person looked like. And so Daphne Dorman, um, that's her name. And so she wound up killing herself for defending her friend, you know, for defending her friend. Come on, man. Come on. So, guys, let me know what you think. I ain't gonna hold you too long. We already had the countdown, but let me know what you think. Hit me up, email me, lifegamepodcast@gmail. Comment. I'm always there. Please subscribe, like the video, dislike the video if you don't like it. Dislike it. Just engage with the content. Um, gonna be doing better production. We're we're in school. You know what I'm saying? We understand it. We putting tools on the tool belt for that. So things are going to be better, bigger. I'm just excited to continue doing this, and this has become a passion. Well, not become. It's a passion of mine to just speak the truth and the real off my chest, man, and give people game that it was given to me. Um, give people game that I see. Give people an alternative way of thinking, not always on this mainstream, because that's how you get in trouble. That's how you wind up losing yourself. So I just want everybody to understand that, man. And, I appreciate it for checking in with me. I appreciate the love. Thank you. We'll be back Thursday. Got another video to drop tomorrow. Actually, we'll be dropping tomorrow. The great debate me and Mac and I had about several different issues. And then Thursday we'll be back. We'll talk about these 3 topics, but we'll go a little bit more in depth because there's a couple more nuanced things I want to touch on, but I don't want to keep making things redundant. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna make the Thursday. I'll see you guys then. Um, until then, man, stay up, play the game, don't get played. This is life. This ain't it's a different game you're playing, and then when life, you better be playing for keeps. This ain't no trial and error. You get one shot at this shit. So live and learn. Most important, live and learn. All right. Till next time. Peace. This is Life Game. We out.